Dark clouds loom over a bustling city as tension fills the air. The camera pans to the protagonist sitting confidently in a dimly lit room, surrounded by skeptical officials. When the line between ordinary and extraordinary fades, only those who dare to believe will see the truth. Welcome to Chapter 2 of I Created a Salvation Organization, where the weight of prophecy meets the urgency of action. I am the savior of your world, our protagonist told them. My purpose is to save the world from destruction. The man in the black suit, not believing his eyes, questioned. The end of the world? The savior? What the hell are you talking about? Why should we believe you? Our protagonist responded. I can relate to someone who can manipulate time because, luckily, I am also a practitioner. Let's make a bet. The man in the black suit asked. What bet are you talking about? Our protagonist explained. As a meeting gift, I will give you a few prophecies to verify for yourselves. I bet that when my prophecies come true, the arrogance with which you now face me will be gone, and you and those behind you will believe. Because only I can save the world that's about to be destroyed. To prove this, our protagonist gave a disaster prediction note to the man in the black suit. Upon seeing this note, the man in the black suit was really shocked, wondering, how is this possible? Our protagonist told them. You and your superiors will need some time to verify my prediction, won't you? But do not delay the rescue response. The man in the black suit read the note and saw. Tonight, at 5:11 a.m., a 5.7 magnitude earthquake is about to hit Sand County, killing 3 people. At 9:28 p.m. today, a 6.2 magnitude earthquake and tsunami will hit the coast of Vamala, leaving 123 people missing. Today, at 11:32 p.m., Flight A3562 to West Asia will crash due to extreme weather conditions, killing 175 people. Upon reading this, he was still suspicious, wondering, can even something like a plane crash be predicted? If the doomsday information is true, these are major events that will affect tens of thousands, or even hundreds of millions of lives. He was curious about our protagonist, wondering, who the hell is this guy? He told his colleague. This concludes the tasting banquet. Clear the room. Then, he said to the protagonist, I will personally convey your note and everything I've seen and heard to my superior. But before he left, our protagonist reminded him. From the moment you received the note, I began to test you. I hope you pass this test and prove to me that your world can be saved. After saying that, he started eating again. Miss M.O., seeing this, asked him, You actually still have the heart to eat in this situation? Our protagonist replied, Even if it's the end of the world, you still have to enjoy life. After all, we have no choice but to fight against disaster. On the other hand, the Special Affairs Bureau was watching their conversation from their control room, and they were really angry. One of them said, This guy may have some powers, but he says it's the end of the world? Come on, is this a joke? However, Xiao told them, I've already checked his identity, and he seems to know what he's doing. To be on the safe side, I have sent a rescue team to the local areas in advance and initiated an early evacuation. Xiao said. However, his superior was not happy with his decision, asking, How on earth did you climb to this position? There are hundreds and thousands of doomsday prophecies every year. Are we supposed to test them all? Xiao, you actually believe this kind of nonsense? You are still too young. Xiao told his leaders. Don't get worked up. I just sent fire and police cars to patrol the neighborhood, and under the guise of a campaign, we asked the residents of the high-risk area to go outside and stay there for a while. If the buildings really collapse, everyone present here will be to blame. Upon hearing this, no one dared to say another word. Suddenly, a voice came from behind, saying, Xiao is still so aggressive, but if the public learns that we wasted federal resources based on some ridiculous prophecy, the credibility of the government will be at stake. What the hell were you thinking? It was the commander of the Special Affairs Bureau. The commander's assistant added, Sand County isn't even in the earthquake zone, and there's no trace of any earthquake. It's only 100 kilometers from the capital. Are you going to take responsibility for the public statement this will raise? Xiao tried to explain. Commander, you have always taught us that the purpose of the Special Affairs Bureau is to be responsible for the safety of the lives and property of the people. Faced with such an unexpected incident, instead of directly denying it and causing immeasurable losses, why not just believe him once? The commander retorted. Whether or not this man actually possesses powers has yet to be investigated, but one thing is certain, if they're not from my race, their hearts are different. Meanwhile, the man who received the note from our protagonist told Xiao. There's less than a minute left until the first prophecy comes to pass. We just have to wait. The commander's assistant told him. There's no need. We've given the order to take him down, and we're taking over from now on. Xiao tried to explain, but the commander interrupted. We must first ensure the goodwill of the other party. For the sake of social stability, we should not gamble. Suddenly, the building of the Special Affairs Bureau started shaking. Everyone was surprised. The commander wondered could it be. But before he could finish, a lady next to him exclaimed, Sonan County! There was really an earthquake! The commander was shocked, thinking, the prophecy really came true. He ordered, Call the third team. Bring that man here immediately. I want to interrogate him myself. But when the commander's assistant called them, he was shocked to hear that the man had disappeared. What the heck? Didn't you just say that the target was in sight? How can he suddenly disappear? He told the commander. That man, he vanished right in front of everyone. Suddenly a voice asked, Where'd he go? It was our protagonist. He told them, I'm right here. Pardon my hastiness, but I wanted to know what decision you have made so far. The soldiers surrounded him and asked him to put his hands up. Our protagonist was pleased with their quick reaction, saying, Not bad. The response speed is passable. However, when the soldiers demanded he raise his hands, our protagonist didn't like it. He used his eye-open skill, and in the next moment, the soldiers and their guns started levitating in the air. Everyone was shocked. Our protagonist told them, Don't waste your efforts. These things can't hurt me. Although it was a bit of a disappointment, you passed my test, and you were quick to come after me too. Realizing they could not do anything to him, Xiao asked our protagonist, Can you continue with the prophecy now? Our protagonist agreed, saying, Of course. Let me see your efforts and results. Suddenly, they received a call informing them that 2 old buildings had collapsed due to wall cracks. All were within the predicted buildings, and the relevant personnel were transferred in time. They were 3 elderly people, and because of their early intervention, there were no casualties in this earthquake. Just 12 minutes ago, a violent earthquake and a small tsunami struck off the coast of Varala. At the time, they had no good reason to alert others about this unconfirmed disaster, so the number of deaths matched exactly what was written in the prophecy. Everyone was shocked after receiving this news. Now, there was only one last prediction remaining. Flight A3562, which was predicted to crash in the storm, had already taken off. They intercepted a message indicating there was a severe thunderstorm not far ahead, and it was too late to turn around. All 157 passengers on board, including their citizens, were expected to die. Everyone was surprised and asked, Then what are you waiting for, Chun? You have to contact them. However, Chun replied, It's too late. Not that we had any reason to warn the other side, but after the plane took off, it's impossible to save a plane that's about to crash by external forces. Upon seeing their sad faces, our protagonist stood up and said, Since we're working together, I should show some sincerity. I will bring everyone back, not a single one less. He then teleported to the location and asked the system to analyze the situation. The system told him, A hurricane from the southwest is now approaching the target airplane with a rotational speed of 50 kilometers per hour, and the speed keeps increasing. At this rate, the hurricane will collide within 10 minutes at very high speeds that would tear the airplane to pieces. Upon hearing this, he smiled and said, It seems like just moving the plane should be enough. As he saw the airplane coming towards him, he smiled. And that's it for Chapter 2. From jaw-dropping prophecies to an intense showdown of faith versus proof, this story keeps raising the stakes. What do you think will happen next? Can our protagonist truly save everyone on that plane? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Pages with Sidra for more thrilling stories like this. See you in the next chapter!